Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Wednesday, December 15th, at 3:25 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, by Zeno Reader. There are 653 headlines from 106 feeds we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. Superkid shreds Rep. Marjorie Taylor Greene's claim that she's against hate. California exempts San Francisco from COVID indoor mask rule. After he asked Biden to help his own state of Kentucky, Rand Paul lashed out at critics who brought up his history of opposing disaster relief bills. Trump says Mike Pence has been mortally wounded in the GOP because he refused to help overturn the 2020 election. Woman at center of Clay County Sheriff's controversy wins lawsuit against Wichita Falls Dance Club. Mystery of the Aaron Rodgers lookalike spotted at Sunday's Packers game takes an apparent international turn. Witnesses, fraud defendant triggers Texas courtroom brawl. Ben Affleck says he started drinking alcohol partly because he was trapped and unhappy in his marriage to Jennifer Garner. Keanu Reeves weighs in on the infamous sad Keanu meme, "I'm just eating a sandwich, man." Elon Musk hurls insults at Elizabeth Warren over her criticism of his taxes, saying she's like a friend's angry mom who randomly yells for no reason. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. UAE suspends multi-billion-dollar weapons deal in sign of growing frustration with US-China showdown, CNN. Here's how Sean Hannity and Laura Ingraham finally addressed news of their January 6 text messages, CNN. Congress passes $2.5 trillion debt ceiling increase, The New York Times. Stephen Curry's locker room speech after becoming the three-point Golden State Warriors. Fans react to Ben Affleck feeling trapped in marriage to ex-wife Jennifer Garner, Daily Mail. Dell's wireless webcam prototype uses magnets to stick to a screen, Engadget. Amid caustic rhetoric, House votes to combat Islamophobia, Politico. The Voice, girl named Tom wins star-studded finale, Jennifer Lopez, Carrie Underwood perform, USA Today. National Sports Leagues contend with several cases of COVID, Fox Baltimore. Mark Meadows, House votes to recommend criminal contempt charges against Trump ex-chief of staff, The Guardian. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. Jimmy Kimmel reveals why Eric Trump didn't text Mark Meadows on January 6. Congress averts catastrophic debt default, votes to send Biden $2.5 trillion debt limit hike. Trevor Noah points out difference between Fox News and CNN text controversies. House moves forward with criminal charges against Mark Meadows. Judge asks for forgiveness after video shows repeated use of N-word. Warriors Stephen Curry breaks the NBA career three-point record. 26 tweets that prove hell is using a dating app around the holidays. Lawmaker begs Fox News hosts to tell people the truth, like in their texts to Meadows. Britney Spears shreds Diane Sawyer over teary 2003 interview, "I was a baby." The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. Students injured in crash by the way school bus, truck. Deputy arrested after high-speed chase W troopers. Police, thieves target Nordstrom twice in one day. Young men get job training while behind bars. Oldest mammal at Cincinnati Zoo dies at age 50. Baby ejected from SUV during crash dies. Man publishes 40 years of original Christmas carols. Video, dozens of wild hogs take over neighborhood. Man charged after police said he crashed his plane while drunk. Teacher arrested on child sex charges. The next headlines are from the fifth most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, the New York Times. Boat carrying Indonesian migrant sinks near Malaysia, killing at least 10. What the U.S. vaccination campaign looks like 1 year on. Chin hairs, why women get them and how to remove. Congress passes $2.5 trillion debt ceiling increase. Muslim lawmaker comes under fire in House debate on Islamophobia. Keechant Sewell to become first woman to lead NYPD. House seeks contempt charge against Meadows in January 6 inquiry. Heavy rain and snow hit California. Dave Ramsey fired employee for taking COVID precautions, suit says. Why Tornado warnings weren't enough to prevent tragedy. The following headlines are from the sixth most popular news website, with an estimated 65 million monthly unique visitors, Fox News. Los Angeles Police Department releases video of armed home robbery in Hollywood, 2 pricey watches swiped. Pandemic fatigue defies virus deaths for those aching for normalcy. Greg Gutfeld, the only thing viruses can penetrate is the immune system of a habitual liar. In Graham, Biden and Democrats are planning their next crackdown on freedom. Political cartoon of the day, seeing spots. And Apis, The Voice and Apis, crowned season 21 champion. Los Angeles possible kidnapping suspects arrested after leading police on chase in city, report. Tom Cotton mocks Biden admin claim that inflation is fault of meat conglomerates. Tucker, Liz Cheney is lying to you about January 6. DRO's laments politicization of COVID, vaccines on and Apis, Hannity and Apis. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Wednesday, December 15th. The next headlines are from the 8th most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, the Daily Mail. Tory Lanez shouted dance BCH, as he shot at Megan Thee Stallion's feet. Man, 31, is arrested on suspicion of murder and arson after death at house fire. Eden Confidential, Mary Duke of Norfolk finds love with mother of model Frankie Herbert. J.K. Rowling's credit barely features in new Fantastic Beasts trailer amid ongoing transphobia row. Daily COVID admissions in Omicron hit South Africa hit highest levels since variant took off. 6 doctors admit they failed 22-month-old tot who was beaten to death by her godmother's partner. Father of Frankie Smith committed suicide after promising to look after Star Hobson. How to have a thrifty Christmas that doesn't feel cheap. Should you give your grandchildren premium bonds, or Bitcoin? Ministers consider plans to raise state retirement age for those born in the 1970s by 7 years. The following headlines are from the 9th most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is the Washington Post World News Feed. Amid drought, conflict and rocketing prices, a global food crisis could be approaching, top expert warns. Tesla Model 3 fleet suspended by major Paris taxi firm after fatal accident. Journalist on Blinken trip to Asia tests positive for virus. Watchdog says UN monitors needed in violence hit Darfur. Major fire traps dozens in Hong Kong skyscraper, 12 injured. Lack of jobs, crisis drive young Iraqi Kurds to migrate. Chinese officials axed for cutting down thousands of trees after Xi Jinping signals disapproval. China's pet lovers are losing patience with official failure to ban animal cruelty. The AP interview, Karzai invited Taliban to stop chaos. Robert Ferris Thompson, scholar of black art across continents, dies at 88. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors, The Guardian. This is The Guardian's U.S. news feed. COVID live, virus moving faster than ever in UK, warns advisor, Omicron probably present in most countries. UK inflation soars to 10-year high of 5.1% as cost of living squeeze tightens, business live. Hong Kong World Trade Center fire traps 150 on shopping center roof. I wanted to show what happened, the tragic story of Juice WRLD. A weird meta experience, artist has app metaverse handle restored after Meta disables it. German police conduct raids in Saxony over anti-vaxxer murder plot. Could he, will they, what if, what might happen next in succession? The Taliban say they'll kill me if they find me, a female reporter still on the run speaks out. Don't strip the Sackler name from museums, it's a visceral reminder of human greed. I challenged Tom Cruise to send me 2 of his special cakes for Christmas. Did he deliver? Of course he did. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors, ABC News. Major fire breaks out in Hong Kong building, dozens trapped. Congressional Democrats raise debt limit by $2.5 trillion, averting calamity. House approves Omar-backed bill to combat Islamophobia after Boebert's remarks. House votes to hold Mark Meadows in contempt of Congress over January 6 probe dispute. LA School Board votes to delay student vaccine mandate with thousands non-compliant. Watch, first American to receive COVID-19 vaccine celebrates 1-year milestone. San Francisco mayor pledges more police safety measures. O.J. Simpson granted early release from his parole. Cybersecurity official warns software vulnerability could affect millions of devices. Judge dismisses suit by Trump seeking to prevent House from releasing his tax returns. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. Hong Kong, dozens stranded on roof after World Trade Center fire. Hong Kong, fire at World Trade Center leaves more than 100 trapped on roof. U.S. Congress narrowly votes to raise debt limit. South Korean dairy giant apologizes for controversial advert. Mark Meadows, Trump ex-chief of staff in contempt of Congress. 2 zebras return to U.S. farm after months on the lam. COVID, Omicron spreading at unprecedented rate, WHO says. Ethiopia civil war, how PM Abiy led fight back against rebel advance. James Webb, a $10 billion machine in search of the end of darkness. China, the death of a man bullet for being effeminate. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. Laws aimed at voter suppression are the worst since Jim Crow, how black voter trends could be impacted. Tom Holland, Zendaya premiere Spider-Man, No Way Home. How a Kennedy built an anti-vaccine juggernaut. Ex-boarding school for natives owning up to past. Children among 14 tornado victims on 1KY Street. The AP interview, IAEA chief on Iran. Evictions rise nationwide after moratorium ends. Mud flows force evacuations in Southern California. Los Angeles schools, with 30,000 unvaccinated students, push off COVID vaccine mandate until fall 2022. About 30% of American adults are now religiously unaffiliated, Pew Research study finds. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. 3 people hospitalized after shooting outside Torrance Mall. FBI offers $10,000 reward for information on armed follow-home robbery caught on tape. LA School Board delays enforcement of student vaccine mandate to fall 2022. Tesla employee arrested on suspicion of killing co-worker at Northern California plant. Anti-Semitic letter, a known substance found at West Side Synagogue. Rain prompts flood rescues, downs trees and forces evacuations. New LAUSD Superintendent Alberto Carvalho, we have to emerge from this crisis stronger. Youth mental health crisis, what parents should watch for. Judge upholds assault charges against Tory Lanez and shooting of Megan Thee Stallion. As Los Angeles Police Department struggles to restore ranks, council members pay extra for police coverage. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Wednesday, December 15th, 2021. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More, from other news sources, is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. Bill Gates won't join the space race. He wants to eradicate malaria and tuberculosis instead. A terrible tragedy, U.S. passes 800,000 COVID deaths, highest in the world. Google to fire unvaccinated employees. Leaked documents link Huawei to China's domestic spying in Xinjiang. House votes to hold Mark Meadows in contempt, indictment could follow. Russia told to pay compensation to women whose hands were cut off. An Uttar Pradesh plastic surgeon performs 37,000 surgeries to make kids smile. Japan admits overstating some government economic data for years. Elon Musk tweets that SpaceX will start program to pull carbon dioxide in atmosphere and use it as rocket fuel. Canada to advise citizens against non-essential international travel due to Omicron variant. The UN has said there are credible allegations of more than 100 extrajudicial killings in Afghanistan since the Taliban took power in August, with most blamed on the country's new rulers. Mexico City on the verge of banning bullfighting. Afghanistan received second batch of China-donated winter supplies. Gas prices near record highs as Berlin rejects pipeline from Russia. NASA solar probe touches sun for first time, dives into unexplored atmosphere. The next headlines are from Forbes. At least 10 people dead after migrant boat sinks near Malaysia. Yonex introduces new materials to increase power in updated E-zone. Cineplex awarded nearly $1 billion in damages from Cineworld after lawsuit victory. Binance to launch crypto exchange in Indonesia with country's largest telecom. New fuel economy regs weaken transportation safety message. Spider-Man, No Way Home review, Tom Holland gives career best performance. Under dire circumstances, Kevin Durant's joy is apparent for the Brooklyn Nets. Airline industry's first ever airport lounge closes its doors today, another opens. Grab buying Malaysian grocery chain as Southeast Asian super app taps online shopping boom. The next headlines are from Nature.com. Silk Road tech transfer, this ancient lyre went global. The science news that shaped 2021, Nature Aspects. The loss of the world's frozen places. Harvard chemist on trial, a guide to the Charles Lieber case. From the archive. Prepare PhD holders for different career tracks. Young star streamer of scorching hot gas gives astronomers a fiery first. Remembering a pioneer in biotechnology. Liftoff, the biggest known flying creature had an explosive launch. Giant cracks push imperiled Antarctic glacier closer to collapse. The world population update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,751,164,426 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. Global box office set for strong recovery in 2022, analyst forecasts. Z5 Global signs multi-show partnership with India's Applause Entertainment. Bonnie J. writes inks package deal with Viaplay ahead of US launch. Amitabh Bachchan, Ranbir Kapoor, Alia Bhatt's Divine Hero franchise film Brahmastra sets 2022 release date exclusive. International Film Festival Rotterdam maintains on-site 2022 edition despite pandemic. Broken Glass Theory review, comic intrigue in an Uruguayan backwater. Drake nearly absent in Amazon Prime Video edit of Kanye West's Larry Hoover benefit concert. The Bachelorette recap, Michelle's men head to fantasy suites. Television Academy launches review of interactive media peer group in light of major industry shifts. Cineplex wins CA $1.2 billion judgment in bust its a new oral sale. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. New York Mayor-elect taps Keechant Sewell to be the NYPD's first female commissioner. Congress votes to raise the debt ceiling, punting the next fight to 2023. The House votes to hold Mark Meadows in contempt, sending a criminal referral to Department of Justice. Kronos hack will likely affect how employers issue paychecks and track hours. Two zebras who escaped from a Maryland farm are back after months on the run. 800,000 Americans have died of COVID. Now the U.S. braces for an Omicron-fueled spike. New York ethics panel wants former Governor Cuomo to turn in the cash from his book deal. Cornell shuts down its Ithaca campus after significant signs of Omicron variant found. Most nations are promising to end deforestation, but skeptics want proof. A dog rescued from a ledge 50 feet above a Colorado creek had been missing for weeks. The following headlines are from The Week. Trump's longtime accountant and banker have reportedly met with New York prosecutors. A mild COVID-19 case just means you don't end up in the hospital, epidemiologists caution. House votes to hold former colleague Mark Meadows in contempt of Congress. Bronx man organizes hope walks to help feed his community. Judge rules Trump cannot shield tax returns from House committee. Senate votes to raise debt ceiling by $2.5 trillion. Dad writes book for his son explaining the surprising way he entered his life. Federal officials predict Omicron infections could peak in massive wave as soon as January. How the Proud Boys are quietly working to bring their menacing politics to the local level. Ethics board says Cuomo must turn over $5 million from his pandemic book. The next headlines are from Universe Today. Astronomy jargon 101, absolute magnitude. Twin stars prove Einstein at least 99.99% right. Forget that planet that orbits every 16 hours, that's so last week. Now astronomers have found a metal planet that orbits its star every 8 hours. Life on Earth needed iron, will it be the same on other worlds? Gravitational waves could explain why there's more matter than antimatter in the universe. A spacecraft orbiting the moon just captured an image of Saturn. NASA gives Axiom Space another opening to fly private astronauts to space station. These are the news headlines for today, Wednesday, December 15th. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the third most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The following headlines are from earthsky.org. James Webb Telescope, launch no earlier than December 24th. December tornadoes, what caused this deadly outbreak? Mirafac is the brightest star in Perseus. The next news is from Politico. Boris Johnson warns of Omicron tidal wave as he vows faster booster vaccinations. Two Republicans join all Dems as Meadows held in criminal contempt. Don't fall into Putin's trap, Estonian leader warns the West. EU court president warns United Europe is in danger. Hundreds of House districts are being redrawn. Here's who's winning and losing. Amid caustic rhetoric, House votes to combat Islamophobia. California education official resigns amid criticism over East Coast residency, hiring process. Silicon Valley's voice in Washington to dissolve. Eastman sues January 6 committee on Verizon to prevent release of phone records. Feds scramble to assess security flaw that threatens hundreds of millions of devices. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. Majority of principals want to scrap NAPLAN testing, Education Union. Mandatory jab scrapped for most Victorian retail settings, but masks to remain. No cases linked to truckee scare, but McGowan reveals Omicron variant has arrived in WA. Potential for great things, COVID-19 group tutoring hits the mark. One word, Omicron, cases will spike but Christmas plans are safe. Heritage listed Northcott Theatre to be transformed into a Hive music complex. Think the pandemic was done ruining Australian sport? Think again. Charges laid over workers' electrical explosion death at Yallourn Power Station. Senior One Nation figure charged with fraud over state election funds. Rapidly changing space, no change to booster times as uptake soars. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. The New York Post, Elon Musk insults Elizabeth Warren in clash over taxes. China Sinovac vaccine inadequate against Omicron variant, study finds. TaxWatch, a tax break for charitable donations is slated to end soon, here's how to use it before it disappears. Dow Jones Newswires, China economic data signals slowing consumption, investment, but improved factory output. Financial crime, inside the Amazon return scam that netted $300K in rare guitars, fancy toilets and high-end home entertainment systems. The moneyest, my daughter, 29, will inherit a substantial sum from her late grandfather, but my husband maintains a tight grip on her trust. This $69 little black dress is made out of carbon emissions collected from steel mills. Living with climate change, was the deadly Kentucky tornado due to climate change? It's complicated. Extra credit, Biden administration confirms it's time to start repaying student loans in February, what you need to know. Crypto update, errant quotes made cryptocurrency investors quadrillionaires on paper today, here's how the crypto community reacted. Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. The dust settles further in relation to patents for computer-implemented inventions in Australia, Lixology. What's Aaron Krause's net worth? Details on the Scrub Daddy founder, market realist. Canabo Group CBD-based formula nears international patent approval, Vox Markets. Cannabis Global, Incorporated, Management's discussion and analysis of financial condition and results of operations, Form 10-K, MarketScreener.com. Patent versus Trade Secret Strategy, a 4-factor decision framework, J.D. Supra. Heartbeam, cardiovascular diagnostics on the go, Seeking Alpha. Oshiastm, Coda Real wireless power system receives its first approvals in Latin America, PR Newswire. What's important in intellectual property in 2022, the National Law Review. What you need to know about trade secrets in 2021 IPWatchdog.com. Mammoth continues growth of digital and technology team with arrival of Bay Area partners, Argus Press. The next headlines are from Quartz. Chanel's Lean and Air joins an expanding tribe of global CEOs with Indian roots. Because they said so? The UK is scrapping its red list of restricted travelers from Africa. Six Sigma, manufacturing perfection. Nike's purchase of RTFKT hints at what its metaverse will look like. Watch, how to work social impact into your career. 30 cities changing the global economy. What tech hubs have achieved in Africa in the last decade. Instagram influencer MRS Dow Jones is nothing like your traditional financial advisor. Joe Biden's social spending bill isn't going to increase inflation. The following headlines are from Tech Dirt. The Papas and the Papas, burger joint rebrands over trademark dispute. Banks, internet service providers increasingly embrace voice print authentication despite growing security risk. Senate inches closer to providing free access to Pacer. Birds aren't real, and kids are not so susceptible to conspiracy theories, their parents on the other hand. Core tells MyPillow CEO that allegedly dating an actress and buying her alcohol isn't defamatory. Daily Deal, PlayStation Plus 5-year subscription stackable code bundle. Turkey's dictator Erdogan, who has sued thousands of critics, jailed more, now claims that social media is a threat to democracy. Austin, the latest city to try and impose a Netflix tax. Core tells cops who got a man wrongly imprisoned for 25 years that of course framing people for crimes is a rights violation. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. Jennifer Lopez. Carrie Underwood. Duke basketball. Alabama basketball. Andrew Cuomo. O.J. Simpson. Winter storm warning. Cornell University. Man City vs. Leeds United. Candace Parker. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. Dems want Pegasus and other spyware makers punished, media. Western intelligence agency searching for replacement for Navalny, Russian spy chief. Get ready for golden era of robotics, strategist. House calls for criminal contempt charges against Trump's ex-chief of staff. Russia reacts to EU boasts about blocking entry of refugees. O.J. Simpson granted early release from parole. Space probe dives into sun's corona in world first. South Korea's COVID spike worst since start of pandemic. Russians reveal whether they see Ukraine as friend or foe. Russian Foreign Ministry to develop AI system for analyzing policy data. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. Senior Cardinal warns elites ushering in total control surveillance state through COVID. Norway bans booze to slow the spread of Omicron. Poverty, economic turmoil shaking Erdogan's throne. Jim Bovard, how I robbed the World Bank. Xi and Putin to discuss very aggressive US and NATO rhetoric in virtual summit. Will America's new nuke deter war, or bring it on? China to strike back for latest reckless Uyghur-related US sanctions. San Francisco suspends cannabis tax to help dispensaries compete with drug dealers. FOMC preview, will the Fed turbo taper, and will it hike 2 or 3 times in 2022? As violence hits rich neighborhoods, liberals and ex-radicals buy guns and mobilize to oust progressive DAs. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. Hopeless, Australia's restaurants, cafes struggle to fill jobs. Are sanctions on RAB a shift in U.S. policy towards Bangladesh? Russia's Putin, China's Xi to hold talks amid tensions with West. Tragic milestone, U.S. COVID death toll surpasses 800,000. French forces leave Mali's Timbuktu after nearly 9 years. Nepalese brothers to scale highest peak on each continent. Hundreds trapped after fire in Hong Kong's World Trade Center. Australia reopens to students, migrants after nearly 2-year ban. Google to employees, get the job or get fired. Another son of Panama's ex-president pleads guilty to corruption. The next headlines are from Breitbart. SCOTUS declines to block New York's vaccine mandate for healthcare workers. Defiant Mark Meadows slams the Democrats, they're not going to intimidate me. Rubio blasts Biden over appeasement of China at the Democracy Summit. Boxer, if Trump could stop the January 6th riot, it proves he started it. Biden Secretary-linked BLM director moves senior leadership back to Washington swamp. Biden administration, California lawmakers move to eliminate racist highways. Vanity Fair attacks pro-death Republicans for opposing vax mandates. Liberal survey, GOP populism beats Democrats' Latino identity politics. Democrat Steny Hoyer seeks gun ban that would disarm lawmakers during hearings. Teacher arrested after Snapchat video allegedly showed sex with teen. The next headlines are from UPI News. Maryland lottery players' impatience leads to $100,000 win. African tortoise walks down Pennsylvania road, prompts 911 calls. Honey spill creates sticky situation on Indiana highway. British zoo's escaped owl rescued from rooftop TV antenna. Watch, strongman Santa balances 8-foot chimney on his head. NC man attends 32 NFL home games in 74 days for Guinness World Record. 2 lions escape from transport container at Singapore airport. Watch, dog lost in Texas reunited with family 2 years later. The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. Extraordinary Roman mosaic and via discovered beneath British farmer's field. The experience of being in the flow, how people achieve the state of brain flow. 65 cats are treated like favored guests at the world-renowned Hermitage Museum in Russia. Amazing video of giant phantom jellyfish from deep in the dark fathoms at 3,200 feet. Watch. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Wednesday, December 15th. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. Her student loans were forgiven, then the education department refunded her $20,000. Man deposits money in ATM after robbing Delaware bank. Photo from tornado-damaged homelands almost 130 miles away. Brazilian politicians settle dispute with MMA fight. Place in the UK is home to the largest and most expensive fossilized pool in the world. Nobody's gonna know, Chinese restaurant serving sesame chicken using dino-shaped nuggets goes viral. Kenyan students keep setting their schools on fire, where's the alarm? Kentucky man brings own grill to cook for tornado victims in viral video. Woman fakes gang rape story to marry boyfriend, triggers massive op. The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. As an SO group mole selling Pegasus, can we ever trust this spyware to become a tool for good? Low-code software can bridge the gap between data scientists and business units. How to preview WhatsApp voice messages before sending them. Google is building a new OS for its next innovative AR device. Dear Meta CTO, yes, people are awful, but your algorithms make them worse. How to design human-machine interfaces for vehicles of the future. The GPU shortage is so intense people are stealing them from display units. Toyota U-turns and doubles down on EV lineup. Not all black holes are black, and researchers found more than 75K of the brightest. Oppo's monocle-style airglass wearable looks fit for a Bond villain. The following headlines are from Science Daily. Night lights, new global atlas maps out artificial light at night under the sea. Finding new channels to selectively target pest insects. Early bloomers, using citizen science data to investigate unseasonal flowering in Joshua trees. Energy-saving strategy helps hummingbirds fuel their long migrations. Overweight children are developing heart complications. When the brain switches from hearing to listening. Antibiotics can be first-line therapy for uncomplicated appendicitis cases. Improving drug options for colorectal cancer patients. Debilitating human parasite transmitted via dogs eating fish. Diet and temperature linked to metabolism in opal eye fish. The next headlines are from Information Week. Why relationships with your tech service providers might be waning. Leveraging AI ops in the finance industry. This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Wednesday, December 15th from over 100 sources to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from NASA News. NASA awards contracts for rotorcraft vertical lift technology services. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. Salt Lake City extends mask mandate for K-12 schools. 2 semi-truck drivers killed in head-on crash in Grand County. USU police chief told football team to beware of sex with LDS women because they may claim it wasn't consensual, lawsuit says. No jail time in Moab bear abuse case. Darlene MacDonald, Burgess Owens distorts historical facts about civil rights movement. The conversation, in polygamous communities, deep roots of distrust shape vaccine hesitancy. COVID toll hits 800,000 to close out year filled with death. In Q&A, state auditor blasts UTA and Uinta commissions over power grabs, calls for reform. By center Richard Harward taking step back from basketball due to heart condition. Utah State University's troubled history of responding to sexual assault. The next headlines are from Slashdot, Tech News for Nerds. NASA's Parker Solar Probe becomes first spacecraft to touch the sun. Scientists surge creating strategic forest reserves to mitigate climate change, protect biodiversity. Google is building a new AR device and OS. Bitcoin could become worthless, Bank of England warns. Dell's Luna laptop concept is all about repairability. USPS built and secretly tested a blockchain-based mobile voting system before 2020. Masayuki Uemura, designer of the Nintendo Entertainment System, dies at 78. YouTube TV warns it may lose all Disney-owned channels amid contract dispute. What is Web3 and why should you care? Intel's mystery Linux muckabout is a dangerous ploy at a dangerous time. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. St. Louis repeals marijuana law, some call for legalizing recreational pot statewide. Homeowners against Sunset Hills water tower get boost from state agency. Hazelwood School District votes to keep mask mandate. Cleanup continues after tornado leaves a trail of damage in Edwardsville. Worst night of my life, Amazon worker who survived collapse speaks out. COVID winter surge threatens St. Louis region. More questions raised after Missouri man shoots neighbor, claiming self-defense. St. Louis renews mask mandate as COVID transmission surges. Non-stop flights to continental Europe from St. Louis will begin next summer. Winds may gust up to 55 miles per hour in Missouri and Illinois Wednesday. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. Classes canceled Wednesday for Julian students due to snow day. San Diego Unified approves public comment policy to curb hate speech. Witness, sailor was in area where fire started on U.S. warship. Video of illegal Fresno car show crackdown ends with shoving, unruly crowd. Thieves break glass with hammer, take jewelry in brazen South Bay smash and grab. Several Carlsbad businesses forced to close from storm, power outages. Photos, storm brings rain, high winds to San Diego. Extremely rare Pacific football fish washes ashore at North County Beach. The following headlines are from Defense Blog. MBDA conducts final test firing of its new Marte-ER anti-ship missile. U.S. Air Force's first operational unit begins use of new smart bomb. Russia rolls out flying prototype of its new stealth combat drone. Ukraine's border guard receives illegally imported Turkish-made armored vehicle. The next headlines are from SUP China, top news about China. Another trial begins for the Department of Justice's Trouble China initiative. She was found guilty of murdering her abusive husband. An enraged Chinese public says the verdict is unfair. In search of spirit in China's Wild West. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Wednesday, December 15, 2021. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. How to keep COVID under control during the holidays. UPS driver claims she was racially profiled after double parking in San Francisco. Oakland restaurant surcharge to help feed the homeless. San Francisco School Board approves budget balancing plan to avoid state takeover. House votes to hold Mark Meadows in contempt in January 6 probe. Santa Clara County civil grand jury indicts Sheriff Lori Smith over alleged misconduct. Police say smash and grab robberies organized with Snapchat, other apps, report. California leaders urge drivers to stop sideshows, street racing amid rise. 2 arrested, $200K in stolen items recovered in large Bay Area retail theft operation. Sonoma County to increase minimum wage to $16.75 an hour. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. Asian shares mixed ahead of Fed policy statement. New guidelines, booster day looming as COVID disrupts NBA. Antetokounmpo in COVID-19 protocol, will sit Wednesday. Curry gets NBA record for three-pointers, Warriors beat Knicks. Strap it down, Weather Service warns of strong winds with the high temps later Wednesday. Nordstrom in Oak Brook robbed twice in same day. St. Charles School Superintendent leaving for Northbrook job. Former state legislator admits to tax evasion. The following headlines are from Seattle PI. A new bill could put Washington state on permanent standard time. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Drought is ongoing in United States. Drought is ongoing in Algeria, Morocco, Tunisia. Drought is ongoing in Democratic Republic of Congo, Kenya, Somalia, Tanzania, Uganda. Drought is ongoing in Bhutan, China, India, Myanmar. Orange alert for tropical cyclone Rai-21, population affected by category 1, 120 km per hour, wind speeds or higher is 12.382 million. Drought is ongoing in Italy. Drought is ongoing in Madagascar. Drought is ongoing in Argentina, Chile. Drought is ongoing in Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Russia, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan. Drought is ongoing in Cameroon, Nigeria. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Wednesday, December 15th in the Greenwich Mean Time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from Cypher Brief Security News and High-Level Analysis. The Afghan debacle should prompt China to revise its South Asian policy. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. Family desperate to find 25-year-old who went missing during lunch break in Southwest Houston. House votes to hold former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows in contempt in January 6 probe. Child care providers in Fort Bend County surprised more people aren't taking advantage of assistance. Michelle takes her final 3 into the fantasy suites on The Bachelorette. Met Museum exhibit captures genius, influences of Walt Disney. Baytown mom who held vigil for murdered son is apologetic it turned into another family's tragedy. Two Harris County detention officers attacked in jail, authorities say. Man accused of attacking Harris County judge, bailiff, and prosecutors in court. Authorities ask for help in finding Houston man convicted of forcing teen into prostitution. Harris County's SB 8 mitigation study at Center evaded Commissioner's Court. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. World shares mixed ahead of Fed policy statement. Vaccine Alliance chief, Omicron could trigger inequity 2.0. German police conduct raids over alleged COVID death threats. Germany Scholz vows that we will win fight against COVID. UK inflation hits decade high ahead of central bank meeting. Barclays to invest $40 in English women's soccer as sponsor. Happy 100th, Bloody Mary, Paris marks cocktail's birthday. EU official, Omicron to be dominant variant by mid-January. The following headlines are from The Gothamist. Hochul urged to sign bill for parents who risk losing all contact with their kids. Grubhub Best of 2021, 10 great NYC pizza places. Eric Adams picks Nassau County PD Chief Keechan Sewell to be first female NYPD commissioner. City Bike sees New York City's power grid as key to expansion. How NYC is tracking down Omicron cases. Extra, the joys of running into an acquaintance. The race for city council speaker narrows around two leading contenders. NYC health experts grade Mayor de Blasio's COVID legacy. Ethics board orders Cuomo to pay back $5.10 in book profits. NJ landlord who sought sex favors in exchange for housing will pay $4.50 settlement. We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. Nobel Peace Prize winners emphasize journalism's role in combating authoritarianism. Additional effort and patience needed to revive Iran nuclear deal. COP26 defined by reinvigorated multilateralism. Beyond Expo, embedding the SDGs in the DNA of future technology and innovation. No return to normal without universal COVID jabs, General Assembly President. COVID-19, don't underestimate Omicron, WHO chief warns. Cool scheme to reduce food waste in Nigeria. Restraint, de-escalation and dialogue needed to stem war in Yemen. Afghanistan, humanitarian crisis threatens basic human rights. COVID cases surging in Africa at fastest rate this year, but deaths remain low. The next headlines are from blacklistednews.com. UK lawmakers quietly authorize terminating citizenship without notice. Overwhelmingly vaccinated Cornell University shuts down campus as COVID-19 cases spike. COVID pass now law in England despite Tory rebellion. The following headlines are from Snopes, a fact-checking service. A United Nations end-time sculpture? Is Daryl Hannah pregnant at age 61? Do yellow caps on Coke bottles have a special meaning? O.J. Simpson a completely free man, parole ends in Nevada. No, Fauci did not say COVID vaccines are making people worse. Baboom, a cornucopia of food fattens squirrels. Autopsy, severe brain trauma in ex-NFL player who shot 6. U.S. woman accused in high-profile road crash to face UK trial. Banks slowly reconsider overdraft fees, amid public pressure. We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. Stephen Colbert destroys Fox News' Laura Ingraham over Capitol riot texts. Fox News stars desperate excuses for bombshell January 6 texts. Fox News goons cry about being smeared with their own words. Republicans aren't winning Latino voters, Dems are losing them. Trump lawyer John Eastman sues Verizon, January 6 committee to try and hide phone records. Joe Ricketts' new luxury resort plan pisses off his Wyoming neighbors. Trey Songz's accuser is done hiding behind Jane Doe. A spacecraft touched the sun for the first time in history. She met a guy on Facebook, then mowed him down outside her house, cops say. Finally, a workout bra you'll actually wear in and outside the gym. The next headlines are from the New York Post. Teen shot dead outside Virginia high school after basketball game. Dozens trapped after fire breaks out in Hong Kong World Trade Center, 12 injured. Suspects being sought after shooting outside Walmart in Pittsburgh. Rangers' Libor Hajek still getting feel for NHL game after layoff. Putnam County cop accused of protecting prostitution ring in exchange for sex. The following headlines are from astronomy.com. Capture the sky with stellar views SVX-102T. James Webb Space Telescope will carry out science from a special spot. You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next science headlines are from CBS News. Professor predicts a vaccine-resistant COVID-19 strain is likely to develop. NASA probe is first spacecraft to enter the sun's atmosphere. U.S. hits 800,000 COVID deaths. U.S. COVID-19 death toll approaches 800,000. James Webb Space Telescope launch delayed. Program proves time outdoors improves kids' mental health. Torado Alley may be shifting east, threatening businesses and supply chains. Alarm bells over Arctic record 100-degree heat in Siberia, UN. How climate change could impact future tornado disasters. U.S. restricts travel from several African countries to slow spread of new COVID variant. The next headlines are from the New York Daily News. Ex-White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows held in contempt of Congress, could face criminal charges for trying to protect Trump over January 6 Capitol Hill riot. Texas man paid 3 hitmen to murder mistress and her boyfriend, feds say. Tesla employee charged with shooting colleague dead in Fremont, California, factory parking lot. U.S. COVID death toll passes 800,000. Remains found in 1982 identified as OJ's guitarist Frank Little Jr. Mayor-elect Adams taps Keechon Sewell as first female NYPD commissioner. Venomous snake found lurking in family's Christmas tree in South Africa. Anti-locked laws around the world still lead to arrests, fines, physical punishments, possibly death. Women who helped father cover up her stepmother's murder with fictional panhandler story sentenced to 5 years. Donald Trump Jr. led text message chorus pleading for dad to end January 6 riot. He's got to condemn this ASAP. The following headlines are from military.com. Witness, sailor was in area where fire started on Bonhomme Richard. UAE suspends talks on $23 billion weapons deal with U.S. What did the National Guard do? January 6 probe hones in on Guard response. Army veteran awarded $22.5 million in latest trial over military-issued earplugs. Damaged Navy attack submarine arrives in San Diego after surface voyage from Guam. Kim Jong-un's decade of rule, purges, nukes, Trump diplomacy. Afghan victims saddened U.S. drone strike to go unpunished. Blinken vows more U.S. military might in Indo-Pacific. The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. New bookshops bring literacy to Southside Chicagoans. Man injured in Disable Lakeshore Drive shooting. Police, Gage Park man was hanging Christmas lights when fatally beaten 14-year-old daughter heard his screams. Great Lakes governors request federal funding for Brandon Road project to deter invasive carp. CPS says new Boys Plus and Girls Plus bathroom signs are gender inclusive, petition seeks to rescind policy. Cook County Democrats narrowly endorse Alexi Jayan Elias for Secretary of State. Man with legally concealed handgun shoots another man in the head outside Jalisco in West Elsden neighborhood, Chicago police say. Corrections and clarifications. 61-year-old woman killed in three-vehicle Winnetka crash Monday night. Chicago affordable housing project headed to council vote despite alderman's objection to complete overstep. The following headlines are from FIS.org. Darwin's finches evolve, vampire fly threat is changing parental behavior. Despite cleaner air, pollution disparities for people of color remain across the U.S. NASA enters the solar atmosphere for the first time, bringing new discoveries. Team engineers directed evolution of translation system for efficient unnatural amino acids incorporation. Einstein finally warms up to quantum mechanics, research team redefines energy to explain black holes. NASA selects 4 CubeSats for space weather tech development. Finding new potassium channels to selectively target pest insects. Soils in old-growth treetops can store more carbon than soils under our feet. Advanced analysis of Apollo sample illuminates moon's evolution. Novel plant antibodies show promise to protect citrus from greening disease. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Wednesday, December 15th, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from Discover magazine. The world's largest volcano is hidden beneath the ocean. Best Hotel Pillows review of 5-star luxury. Vinyl versus digital, which sounds better? The fight against microplastics. 5 ancient cities that no longer exist. After a night on the town, he couldn't take a full breath, then things got much worse. The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. Germany's Scholz vows that we will win fight against COVID. Vaccine Alliance chief, Omicron could trigger Inequity 2.0. Kim Jong-ju, younger brother of North Korea's founder, dies. The following headlines are from MercuryNews.com. Golden rules for cooking with CBD oil. Dear Abby, he says I need to honor him by getting a tattoo. Steph Curry, Warriors teammates recount all the special moments of record-breaking night. Netflix former executive sentenced to 30 months for taking bribes. Sharks' first ever game versus Seattle Kraken ends in frustration. Inclusive of all, here's how San Jose will apply SB 9 across the city. Brentwood, police seek bank robbery suspect. Warriors' offensive struggles continue on Steph's record-breaking night, but triumph over Knicks anyway. Critter Corner, new tricks dogs can learn over the holidays. The next headlines are from the Washington Times. House votes to hold Mark Meadows in contempt of Congress. Rand Paul calls CNN factory of lies after network wraps him on disaster relief. Elon Musk battles Elizabeth Warren on Twitter. Salvation Army's kettle set record in recent challenge despite reported pushback. London breed, San Francisco mayor, pledges more police safety measures. House committee calls for immediate NFL cooperation after latest Snyder expose. 3 from the Villages, Florida, arrested on voter fraud charges. Portland business owners turn to private security after city defunds police. Americans who identify as Christian down 15 points in 14 years to 63%. U.S. COVID death toll hits 800,000, a year into vaccine drive. The next headlines are from The Intercept. Vaccine makers funneled undisclosed campaign cash to Democrats and Republicans in 2020. Medicare privatization scheme faced legal questions about profiteering. This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Wednesday, December 15, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. Horoscope for Wednesday, December 15, 2021. Man found fatally shot in West Pullman. Right-wing groups attempt to open at Chicago high school rejected. 18-year-old seriously wounded in drive-by shooting on Sable Lakeshore Drive near Gold Coast. Christmas tree ship is ultimate mission for many in Coast Guard. Congressional committee must keep playing hardball with Mark Meadows and the rest of Trump's circle. Man fatally shot in Gresham. Person fatally shot at Marathon gas station in South Austin. Man shot to death in West Garfield Park. Cook County Democrats endorse Alexi Giannoulias in Secretary of State race. The next headlines are from the Times of India. There is no rift between me and Rohit, Virat Kohli. Aryan Khan gets relief from weekly attendance at NCB office. Karan Johar and his family test negative for COVID-19. SC grants Raj Kundra protection from arrest for 4 weeks. Why 15-min observation period after vax isn't necessary for all. I am available for OD series and say, Virat Kohli. WhatsApp allows users to preview voice messages. In pics, after 383 days, Tikait leaves Gazipur border. Group Captain Viren Singh, lone survivor of Rawat chopper crash, succumbs to injuries. Talker on speculation surrounding Rohit-Virat equation. You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Wednesday, December 15, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Houston Press. Wednesday webinar on new Texas voter laws. Things to do, visit Cirque du Soleil's Alegria at Sam Houston Race Park. The hypothetical 12-team 2021 college football playoff. Things to do, the Aces, Warehouse Live, December 17, 2021. 2021 holiday tamales in Houston. The next headlines are about world records making news. Taiwan, bubble tea on tarmac for teen on round the world record bid, Amazon now. Magnus Carlsen says he might not defend his world chess title, first post. Minneapolis teen takes another bite of Guinness World Record for biggest mouth, Fox 9. Siberian town topped 100 degrees, a new Arctic record, UPI News. Every time BTS has set a Guinness World Record, Billboard. Grandmother breaks world record for largest Christmas bauble collection, Daily Mail. 5-year-olds in Bengaluru sets world record in coding, the New Indian Express. Biggest bucks of the year, 22 huge white-tailed deer in muleys, field and stream. Zara Rutherford tries to break record for youngest pilot to fly solo around the world, ABC News. Paul McCartney's bass breaks world record at auction, NME.com. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. Dell thinks a mini wireless webcam and PC companion will make work easier. Matrix Resurrections mysterious plot points teased by new featurette. New Avatar 2 concept art reveals Navi Kids and the giant lizard. 7 satellite images reveal the shocking toll of the Quad-State Toronto outbreak. DC Attorney General sues Proud Boys, Oath Keepers over the Capitol riot. Crypto prices seemingly jump by billions of dollars as CoinMarketCap goes berserk. Guillermo del Toro's Pacific Rim sequel would have been significantly more bonkers. Lifelike robotic hand is a bit too close to Terminator for our liking. Eco-friendly fabric is destroying the rainforest. Big changes are coming to LastPass, but unfortunately not its prices. What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was Rabbit Flat in Australia at 111.02 degrees Fahrenheit or 43.9 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was Kurbo in Russia at minus 61.24 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 51.8 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. A potential hang-up for quantum computing, cosmic rays. Porsche builds a sporty red wagon, the 2022 Taycan GTS Sport Turismo. You asked, Ars answers, here's how to give an electric eel an MRI. Omicron is rising rapidly in the US, 3% of cases nationally, 13% in NY and NJ. Ajit Pai and Tom Wheeler agree, the FAA is behaving badly in battle against FCC. Concerns about sexism in the aerospace industry land at SpaceX. Google is building a new augmented reality device and operating system. Turns out that HDMI 2.1 inches ports don't need to actually support HDMI 2.1 features. There's a lot we don't know about ocean CO2 removal. OSHA probes Amazon warehouse where workers died with no tornado shelter. The following headlines are from Raw Story. Why is my poop brown? The answer is more complicated than you think. Storm drains keep swallowing people during floods. Psychologists say that America is going through what Carl Jung warned us would eventually happen, a mass delusion. 2 Patriot boys arrested on January 6 charges, including pole tosser who swung at Michael Fanone. House votes to hold Mark Meadows in criminal contempt for defying January 6 subpoena. Trump's rage is peaking tonight, MSNBC host recounts former president's dismal week. Trump-loving GOP Senate candidates are vowing to oust Mitch McConnell as leader. Fireworks erupt on Fox News after Geraldo blames Trump for inciting Capitol riots. Turning Point USA Heights Kenosha shooter Kyle Rittenhouse as featured speaker at its America Fest. January 6 panel to identify lawmakers who sent texts to Mark Meadows probably very soon, house them. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. The House just voted to seek criminal charges against Meadows for inquiry obstruction. Congress agreed on drastic military sexual assault reform, then 4 men behind closed doors got their hands on it. Fox News hosts privately panicked on January 6, then they rewrote history. I compared the new January 6 text to Mark Meadows' book, it's damning. The super wealthy are snatching up super yachts as pandemic presents. Climate change is killing the crappy fake lake of my youth. The next items are today's top search results for extraterrestrial life. The best things in Texas, 2022, Texas Monthly. The following items are today's top search results for the term neural plasticity. Global SID Model Market 2021 Advantages and Applications Trends and Top Players, Charles River Laboratories International, Incorporated, Invigo, Eurofins Scientific SE, Digital Journal. Serratus anterior block for long-term post-thoracoscopy pain management JPR, Dove Medical Press. Chan Zuckerberg commits $500 million to Harvard Neuroscience and AI Institute, Harvard Magazine. The Twilight Zone before deep sleep could boost your creativity, Singularity Hub. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Wednesday, December 15, 2021 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. The following is from the UFO Chronicles. UFOs UAP, we don't need no stinking science. That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Wednesday, December 15, 2021. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. Fair use statement. Newsite is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno at XENOMAILS 2021 by Newsite. All rights reserved.